Greetings. This video is for those folks in the U.S. who are either about to become caregivers for elderly family members or you already are and you're a beginner at it. I have two pieces of advice for you. What brings this to mind today is that I just spent 2 hours today getting my mother's prescriptions rearranged. She gets them by mail and she recently changed doctors, and the company that handles the prescriptions dropped the ball. So I had to step in and make sure that it got corrected. This is part of the hassle, right? This is part of what you're going to face. So the first step psychologically is to prepare yourself for the necessary task, if you're the responsible person, of becoming an expert on elderly healthcare and resources in the US. So you're it. You're where the buck stops, right? And you've got to track everything. You've got to talk to people. And I recommend starting at the county level, wherever your parent or whoever it is you're looking after lives, and start making a list of resources, who to talk to at Medicare, who to talk to in terms of Medicaid coverage if you have that option. Here in California, it's called Medi-Cal. I have had extensive dealings with them for the last several months just to get some things done. But the good news in all this is that you can get to a point where it's mostly handled. That's the point I'm at now. So it's not anymore like a part-time job. Now I've got, and this is my second piece of advice, now I've got a team of people who are advising me, do this, do that, contact those folks, submit this documentation. It's an enormous pain in the ass, and I've been at it for years. It takes a huge amount of time, and but the good news is eventually you get to the end. If all goes well, and with your team behind you and your knowledge of what the resources are, you can make sure that that person you care about is well looked after. So start at the county level, look up the resources. I wish I could give you a list of people, but I'm out in Southern California, so it's not going to apply across the nation. But a few of the people out here, so I know who the Medi-Cal and Medicare people are who deal with my mom's cases. So get that information, because it's a different caseworker for everybody. So that you'll need that. There's a really good organization out here called Alight for Seniors, and they advocate for Medi-Cal coverage. They're super helpful. I recommend them. I've dealt a little bit with AARP at the national level. There's some resources there. Who else have I talked to? I've just got a whole list of people. There's a couple of geriatric social workers that I've worked with. Some of this is covered, fortunately, by different medical plans, and so there's all that. The resources are pretty much out there, but they're scattered. And they're out there because people need them. So despite decades of federal attempts to diminish resources, especially on the part of one political party more than the others, they're still there, so you can find them. So what's going to happen now, though, with a regime change in Washington, who knows? The Medicaid portal got shut off temporarily, I think it was last week. And who knows what's going to happen with Social Security and a number of other necessary services. This is not a partisan issue at all. This is life and death and healthcare stuff, right? That affects all of us, but especially the vulnerable. So, and maybe I'm going to give you a third piece of advice, which is you need to get assertive and advocate for people you care about. Sometimes you need to be pushy. So for introverts, that can be hard to do, but it's necessary. So you've got to advocate. So I hope some of this is helpful. If you've got questions, I'm happy to respond to them as time permits. I can't always recommend specific agencies beyond the ones I just mentioned, but at least I can give you a bit of moral support, because I know how hard this is. Thanks.